Hey guys, welcome to a new video. It is so good to see you. Next up for the BMW R80 are the new Footpegs that need to be test fitted. And those are way smaller than the original ones and will go well with the overall look of the bike. But I think we might run into some problems, especially in the front. And it seems like they don't go on as easily as you might think Footpegs would go on. But before we start with the struggle, I would like to show you some parts that have arrived over the past days. First of all, there are the Moto Gadget mirrors. Those are the Moto Gadget Mo View. They are road legal, probably if they are legal in Germany, then also in the rest of the world, because we are such sucker for rules. I mean, this is crazy. Nothing is allowed here. But anyways, I don't want to get into that topic. Those are amazing because they're the first mirrors that don't use glass. They just use highly polished metal. That way you get a super clean look and don't have the metal ring holding the glass. Something super nice, and I look forward to putting those on the bike. And the new tires have arrived. Those are Heidenau K60 ones, front and back, but more on that in a future video. Now we have to quickly install some lights before we can get cracking with the Footpegs, because as usual, highly professional. Right guys, lights are installed. One is over there and then the other one is back there, and for their size they're actually pretty nice. But now finally we can switch out these old junky rubber Footpegs. So I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to actually change the Footpegs because they're not the cheapest parts, but in the end I decided to go for it and make them fit to the overall look of the bike. So I went ahead and got 2 sets of these black Footpegs, and then to mount them I got 2 sets of Footpeg joints. So yeah, we can go ahead, see how they are fitted on the bike and hope that it all works out. All right, let's go. So this is just a hole that you can see through, and the screw should be with a joint. So I would say we start by putting those together and then try fitting it on the bike. Alright guys, the Footpegs are pre-assembled. They look so nice. They will go well with the overall look of the bike. It looks like this now. There's the joint, then the metal spacer, the spring is in here, then the Footpeg, and the Footpeg is secured by a screw that goes in like this. What the metal spacer and the spring do is they keep the Footpeg secured in either position, either like this for riding, or you can put it upwards and then it stays like this as well. So yeah, let's see how we can install those on the bike. Alright guys, we've got the old Footpegs off, and size-wise, this is such a difference. I hope that these are still comfortable to ride and that your feet don't get this. I know in German we say that your feet are asleep when they get this like tingly feeling, and it's kind of annoying. What we now need to do is we need to get this connection thingy off and install it back on the bike. So let's go ahead, do that, and then see how we continue. I don't really get that off, so I think we need to use the blowtorch. Right, so the first one is off. Let's go on to the second one. One thing that is so nice about this very specific bike is that the previous owner used copper paste on basically any screw, and that makes it so easy to disassemble it. So these Footpeg mounts and obviously the exhaust screws, and I'm going to link you that video up here if you haven't watched it yet, are the only ones where I actually have to use some force, or in this case heat, to get them off. I want to make this the first screw that I strip. See how it gets these little dents and rods from the vise. So I think we need to protect it. Let's see if I can find some wood. Please. Now. Oh, there we go. Alright guys, we've got those little connecting pieces off, and I'm getting really used to having a proper blowtorch. Now that I have one, I can't really remember how I lived without one before. Now let's go ahead, put our new foot pegs on here and then install the whole thing back on the bike. That looks good. What do you think? Alright guys, both rear foot pegs are installed. They look super nice. But now onto the front ones, and the front will probably be a lot trickier because this front foot peg is kind of one piece, and that way I think we won't get far with our simple foot peg joint. So stubborn. Right, there we go. So these are the rubber mounts, and then this is just a solid rod. So yeah, I think we might have a problem because we can't really mount our new foot pegs on there. Maybe cut it off here and then drill a hole and put our new foot pegs on here. That might work. So this is what it looks on the left side, different compared to the right side. And the foot peg is directly mounted to this L bracket. So yeah, I don't know. What I thought I might use this little brake for is take off the exhaust, take out this tube, and then see how the exhaust pipes would fit in their natural position. The brake lever is in its way, and then it doesn't go in straight, but it goes in kind of at maybe a 3 or 5 degree angle. It always is limited by the space it has here. So what might be beneficial to just see how the pipe would normally fit is disassembling the brake lever and the foot peg. A nice trick to not lose any of these things. It's just putting a cable tie through everything so you don't lose them. Alright guys, we have two problems with the exhaust. First, even with a fully tightened exhaust nut, it just goes out. I can't imagine that it is properly sealed at the cylinder head if it slips out like that. Then the second problem is that the mount for the foot peg does not really fit. So the diameter of the old exhaust is 38 millimeters, and let's see what the diameter of the new one is. So that is 37.5, maybe 4. That's 0.6 millimeter difference. Well, it seems like that makes such a huge difference. And yeah, with the front foot pegs, I think I have reached the limits of my own personal mechanical knowledge and also the limits of my toolbox. But fortunately, I know someone who might be able to help. He is one of the biggest legends within the German motorcycle scene. He has created a very unique cartoon character that rides motorcycles. He also has a YouTube channel that I'm gonna link up here, and he builds the craziest bikes since decades. So I see if we can visit him tomorrow, and then I hope he can help us out with the front foot pegs and we can find a solution for that. The only problem is that the van is back in Berlin and we need to push the bike over there. But you can be excited to see the bikes he has because they're absolutely amazing. Alright guys, it's the next day. We're going to go to Andy's place, but before I need to pack everything up and then we have to push the bike over there. It wasn't a joke, but I think I'm going to spare you all the pushing, so we'll just meet back once we're there. Alright guys, we've made it to Andy's place. The BMW is way heavier than the bikes I normally ride, and especially pushing it. So anyways, we're now going to switch to German, so I'm just going to catch up with you guys and then I'll show you what we came up with. While we are building something, I don't know yet, you can enjoy some of Andy's builds. This place is like paradise. There are bikes everywhere, and not just simple bikes. I mean, bikes like this. This is a Norton that Andy has built with a compressor. Everything is custom made. The frame is actually at the same time the gas tank and the oil tank. Alright guys, I'm heading home. It was somewhat successful. We came up with a solution, but it's not going to happen today. We're going to extend the pipe here so that the whole exhaust system drops about 2 to 3 centimeters. And that should give enough room for the feet to not constantly burn, and also give more room for the brake lever and the shift lever. If we do that, the only problem is that the brake lever, which casually just hangs there, doesn't work anymore because it goes around and is super tight here. So I think what we need to do is build another brake lever that goes from the outside straight to the foot peg. Oh yeah, and the main solution why I actually went to Andy is that we're going to cut the extension here and then cut a thread. That way it stays in shape and we can adjust the fitting basically of the new foot pegs. All right, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, guys, even though it wasn't as successful as we might have wished. I'm going to use the next days to create some cardboard prototypes for the battery case and also the seat pan. So that's what we're going to do in one of the next videos, and I see you in the next one.